Yo, what's up, Grabby 5D here. In this video, I want to rant just a little bit about the ongoing summon rush, the second summon rush in the fusion for the month of June, Folan fusion. We all saw the second summon rush that we are all expecting to be something amazing. Forget our expectations, right? Let's be real here. Raid gave us 150 fragments and we thought, ooh, that means we can skip out on 50 fragments, right? But in this video, I want to tell you that I feel, from my personal opinion and observation, like this might be a test by Plarium to see how the community reacts to a fusion having more than 2 summoning events. That's it. Because fusions having 1 summoning event and we able to skip the other one used to be a thing. Now, fusion has come to having 2 summoning events that you cannot skip them totally at all. Now, the next line they are looking forward to pushing forward with this test, which I believe is fusion having 3 summoning events. Which in the future, right, this one now, you totally can skip this one in red and you're fine with the fusion. But in the future, it seems like red is gonna begin to take out fragments from other events to put into a third summoning event, and that's what I feel, or that's what I call a dangerous line they are moving towards. This is all just speculation. This is just my observation. I feel like Ray does not mind taking 5 fragments from champion training and throwing into this second summon rush that you cannot skip. Basically, anything that will make the player base summon their shards at the wrong time, as the worst time, at the time where when they summon their shards is going to not give them a higher rate of getting epics or legendaries. That's the time they want us to summon our shards in general, so that we won't be spoiled with a ton of champions and we'll be able to, buy more shards to spend during those 2x events. So maybe they see that the economy players are having too many shards saved up for every event in the game, and they feel like this is going to be a strategy to reduce the number of shards we have. So now that they've tested this a little bit of experiment and they're seeing how players will react to this summon rush 2, they did not make it something enticing. Forget all our speculations about it being a hero's path or something, a guaranteed, a 1+1, nothing. They just give it a 15x progressive chance event. That's it. When I saw the event attached to it, awakening boost for soul stones, I thought it was actually going to be limited or kind of attached to this awakening boost. Now, if you go to this tournament and see what awakening boost is looking like, soul chase right here, this one has its own separate event entirely. It's not attached to this one. You don't have to go and farm any dungeon to get the soul chase tournament, so that one is not a bad one. That event is fine. There are players who are not interested in this fusion. This might be an event that are chasing hard for, especially the fact that you have boosted rates of getting perfect soul. This is not what I want to talk about. A lot of players thought they're going to mix this soul chase with the summon rush event, the second one, and that might have made players actually push for that second summon rush. Heck, some people even skipped the first summon rush entirely and went for the second one. Now, there are different strategies to go after a fusion. Most players just throw in their 6-7 sacred shards and call it a day in the first summon rush so they can skip other events within the fusion. There are players who do not mind summoning their shards and making the fusion a little bit easier on themselves. Now, if that is beginning to be the standard, I feel like the number of legendaries we begin to have on our account in general in a year time or something will be reduced if you're summoning your shards at the wrong time, as the worst time possible. There's nothing anybody can tell me in raid. Fine, you say 2x and a summon rush, there's not much of a difference. True, but that little bit of a difference for free-to-play players like us or endgame players who also have a ton of shards is the difference between you getting a ton of legendaries or not, or getting only fusion champions on your account. So there are times you get lucky and get something from the summon rush, but I always want to make sure I summon at the right time, and summon rush is not the right time. That's why whenever I see the news for a progressive chance event, I see the list of champions on the list, I'm like, should I announce this news or not? Because it is a progressive chance event. You can go in there and select, but you probably summon your shards, get the first legendary, you have to hit the 25x chance. Even at that, you might still not get the legendary after your third summon. So I don't ever encourage progressive chance event, no matter how much they push it in the game. It's not something, it's only going to benefit those players who are close to message. Even at that, you might still not get anything on that list that you select right here. So that's the little bit of a warning I wanted to put out to the community, that we have to take a closer look at this and let Plarium know that now this is not supposed to be the norm. Let this one not... Fine, it can repeat itself, but even when it repeats itself next time, they have to make sure, apart from the 100 fragments we have from 2 summoning events, whatever summoning event you want to add, the 3rd one or the 4th one, it must not be part of, like, compulsorily part of the fusion. Is that even the word? It must not be like required to complete the fusion, because at that point, I don't know, everybody has their breaking point in raid. I come from the perspective where I complete every fusion. So I have been doing fusion from as long as I can remember. The only fusion I skipped out on or I missed because I was out of town was Yoshi. I think Yoshi the draw. So, and I've gotten that champion from a shard. So I have been doing fusion for a long time. Fine, I don't really have all the information, all the numbers and everything calculated and tracked. I see how the points requirements have increased over the years. I see how more difficult it has become. But early game players can still complete a fusion. That's why I was testing it on my Noob to Pro account that was 3 months old. Even the 2nd month in raid, I was doing a fusion on that account. So it's still a good way of getting champions in the game. And if they begin to add these little traps that I'll call it now, it will begin to be impossible for newer players to complete a fusion who do not have shards saved up over time. So, and if fine, fusions are supposed to be about saving and shards, but it shouldn't be so much that even your saved shards is no longer enough. Right now, what players try to do is use fragments and use old fusions in their accounts to complete, like if you have fragments that you saved up right here to complete chase. A lot of players save all these little multiple copies of this to get chase points. Even right now, see the prism crystal that is available. Players will farm that content, summons to now summon it during chase this upcoming weekend. So there are ways to get over chase. Remnants are here, summon pool is here. So chase is not a problem. It's the summon rush I have a problem with. I guess I have to say it right there, because I came into the office this morning ready to summon 20 sacred shards for me to get an amazing or one of the new legendary champions that was released this month. That's what I thought was going to happen. I was disappointed at that. Fine, no problem. I'm disappointed. But then I looked closer at the calendar. I was like, wait a second. That means this was just a normal second summon rush within a fusion. If you're going to put a summon rush like this within a fusion, which has happened before, a 2nd one or a 3rd one, I mean, make it interesting. Make it exciting. Make it something that even somebody who is not going for the fusion would want to go for this. It's a Tuesday. There is no CBC going on. We know it's normally a progressive chance event within that time. It's standard. It's in the calendar of Plarium. But why add it into these fragments? Why have fragments of it inside? I guess they didn't want it to be a boring summon rush which nobody looks at. That's why they had to add fragments of this and make the fragments separate from the 115 or 110 we normally get from a fusion fragment. So, summon rush 2, everybody going for this fusion, you're totally fine to skip all the fragments in here. Summon rush 1 required you to only get 5 fragments, and most players got 10 fragments or 15 fragments so they can make the rest of the events a little bit easier on themselves. So if players are being forced to now go for 2 summoning events in the future, if they begin to do that, a lot of players will begin to stop doing fusions. That's what I think. So I just wanted to share my opinion about this. I'm looking at the dangerous part, because when Plarium does something like this, it's never the ordinary. It's never just because it's a summon rush that was already scheduled a long time ago as part of no CVC. There's always a summon rush on a Tuesday, Wednesday. It's standard in the calendar. My problem is, why does it have fragments? And that might be something they want to look forward to, because if you have the first one, whoever is going for this 2nd summon rush, she should have just gone for this 1st summon rush. What's the point? It makes no sense. It really makes no sense. I've taken a closer look at this summon rush. I was like, am I missing something about it? It's still 2,000. It's even more points than the first one. So imagine if you missed out on the 1st summon rush, hoping that you grab something amazing from this one, and then it's not 2,050. There's extra 500 points. That means even more sacred shards to summon. Instead of 4 sacred shards, you're summoning 5 sacred shards for this summon rush. to get this 5. If you missed totally out on the first one because you thought this one was going to be better, this one was going to be amazing, this one was going to be attached to the Soulstone summoning, they saw us speculate that we are happy. They're like, let's wait and let them be disappointed at the end. And boom, a standard summon rush with even more points than the first one. So I understand players who do not chase after fusion at all. They don't like it. They don't like the grind. But I feel like if I'm not doing fusions in raid, I'll literally have nothing else to do in the game. That's why I go for every fusion that is out there. And them increasing the points or the requirements over time is not a bad idea. There's always inflation because as they give us more resources, they have to charge more for it. But now I'm not going to be okay as a free-to-play player in raid with summoning or being required to summon twice. Already, this first summon rush, I had to use my mystery shards. I'm still one of those who refuse to go crazy on the first summon rush. And that's why I have this many sacred shards saved up. Because I never want to go summoning 7, 6, 4 sacred shards just because of a summon rush and get 4 epic champions. I don't need the epic champions. You're sure. You're like 99.9% sure this 4 shards or 5 sacred shards you summon is going to give you 4 epics. So why would I want to do that? How many percent? Well, not really. 94% chance. But still yet, I do not want to take those chances. I rather take the 12% chance at getting the legendary, and that's what I saved my shards for. Now, if you put up a champion for 20 sacred shards and give us a guaranteed, I'm always ready for that also. I don't mind spending sacred shards that way. It's not like I'm hoarding forever. I don't want to summon on a normal day like this for no reason. So if you are counting your Messi and you know how close you are to Messi, I've already said that these rules do not apply to you. Go ahead and summon 1 or 2 secrets and hit that Messi count and see if you got your champion of your dreams. That rules does not apply to you. I'm just talking about a normal player who is not counting their Messi or who is not close to Messi, going in for the first summon rush and going in for the second one. So let it be known, I said it here first, Plarium is already going towards the direction where they are going to require 3 summoning events from players in raid. And that's going to be the breaking point for most players who have been chasing after every fusion, trying to grab them all, as we say. So, all right, that's my little rant for the day. I just wanted to push this one out there to let you guys know how I personally feel about this second summon rush. Initially, it was not a problem. We've been seeing it in the calendar all the time. The calendar was released. It wasn't a problem. As long as it wasn't interesting, as long as it was attached to something, as long as it has a maybe perfect soul, 5-star perfect soul for a champion, something, not just a bare random summon rush in the middle of a fusion, making it 3 summon events, and this should not be the standard in raid. They might still go ahead and do whatever they need to do due to the experiment result, and they see that the players actually went for this one and they caught us off guard, going for the first one and going for the second one, or skipping the first one with lower points and going for the second one with more points. Whatever the case may be, the experiments will reveal the results to them and they will implement it whether they like it or not. So at that point, I don't know, man. I'll be telling you, I told you so. So let it be here on record. Plarium is going towards the direction where fusions will now require 3 summoning events from players. And that's my verdict for the day. All right, hit that like button, subscribe for more daily raid content. See you guys in the next video, which will be a little bit more positive than a rant. Later, guys.